talk moving and shooting in a straight line. A couple different ways I can manage that recoil. I can do it with just my body position. Now, a lot of guys, I grew up shooting the same stance, feet shoulder width apart, and then when it translates to actually moving and shooting, a lot of guys get stuck in this frozen position. What do they do? Left, right, left, right. And what that ultimately does, it takes all my weight, puts it on one foot, now it has to come up and over on this foot. That creates extra recoil that I don't need. But if I narrow my stance, almost like on a tightrope, now I'm gonna keep the weight inside of my shoulders in a straight line instead of sloshing back and forth. Mitigating a little bit of extra recoil now left and right that I don't really have to manage. And I can practice this thing by just narrowing my stance, keeping it heel toe, a nice feathered approach. But if I stay right where I want it to be, don't even have to shoot, just break up my red dot, put it right in the center of the target. And now if I just walk normal, so I'm 6'1", we'll just say I'm just gonna stand completely vertical, I'm just gonna walk, no bending in these. This thing is all over the place, and for me personally, that dot is going from up in here to down and left, just my natural cadence. If I narrow my stance a little bit, focus on the heel toe, and then I drop it down for a little bit more athletic stance, use my knees as my little shock absorbers, and then feathering that foot approach, not dragging my feet, not stomping my heels. I shouldn't hear a slap, 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 slap. Nice and easy, a feathered approach, like I'm laying over blades of grass. Now when I draw it out, 6'1", 5'11", keep it right there, heel toe, shorten my stride, increase my frequency. I should be able to keep that thing inside of that box relatively straight throughout, and just keep practicing that straight line approach until it feels natural and comfortable. Then if I put this thing away, I should feel the exact same way if I had a carbine. I'm gonna transition to a pistol, back to a carbine. Nothing in my body should really change. I'm managing recoil, trying to get my natural center line in line with my eyes. That way it feels so much more natural when I shoot. If I open this thing all the way up and now I'm trying to move with the carbine, I get a lot of slop left and right. Now I've got to counter that. Really counterintuitive. For a couple of these guys, just look at my feet, then scan up, not hunched all the way over. I'm just trying to drop my stance just ever so slightly to make it that much more manageable for the recoil aspect. Remember, we're not trying to haul ass, trying to make it comfortable and repeatable throughout. You can start however you want to. I'll typically just start here. Try not to get in the habit of every time I take a step, I take a shot. Boom, boom, boom. I should be able to shoot throughout the entire process. Start from here. You can draw it out, get your thing right on target, take a shot. Now we stop. So one more time. Nice and easy, straight line approach. I like having guys do this too, just naturally start to walk, and then as soon as you're ready, establish that master grip and then draw from attention. Just walking normal, drop my stance ever so slightly. Reset, hit it again. Straight line moving and shooting. Let's come up here real quick. Not a bad group. Inside of a fist, I got a couple burners. I don't know if that's from the first string or one of the first ones you shot today. But if I can keep that red dot inside of this channel, it really gives me all that room. As I get closer, I really start to manage that recoil. And if I get over aggressive and I really start to drive it down, it gives me this entire 8-inch box. If I start holding in the center, really start to hammer down, start to increase my cadence, and now I really start to drive it, I'll start to drop the rounds low. So give yourself acceptable room. If I shoot them high, inside in the upper thoracic cavity, inside of that spine, that's all good. If I start dropping them real low or I start winging them off, I've really got to slow myself down and really start to manage that recoil, really be accountable for my accuracy. I really achieve that with my support grip. When I drive that thing out naturally, I'm really trying to overpronounce that support grip thumb, really driving it where I want to be. Now I overlay it in between my two eyes. Really my natural point aim should be in alignment because I'm not sloshing back and forth. I'm in a straight line. Now my natural point aim is in line with my sternum in between my two eyes, and it makes it so much more repeatable. If I open this thing up and now I walk, I get to slop back and forth. Just try it at full speed. Start from here, leave it nice and wide, and try to drive it out. There's nothing comfortable about it. If I narrow my stance now it's allowing my sternum, allowing my belt buckle in between my two eyes. Shrink my stance, not completely on a tightrope, but inside of my shoulders. I can keep it so much more repeatable, and now I'm not slopping back left and right. Give the thing a shot, let us know how you're gonna do. I'll throw in a carbine, kind of run through the exact same process, but for me, I don't change my process. I'm trying to make this as comfortable and repeatable, if I have a gun, if I don't have a gun, as it normally would be. I don't typically walk around feet shoulder width apart anyway. I narrow my stance, just everyday walk, just how I do. So now when I add a pistol into the equation, I add a carbine into the equation, none of my process changed. I've been doing this for 40 years. It translates right over to moving and shooting. Give the thing a shot, let us know how you're doing. Talk soon.